Tene targengi liu chupa sonsi ne ta liu dunba chamba de niji gomba sheba di imare.
We have completed the 6th chapter of the Jewel, Ornament of Liberation, the chapter on karma, cause, and effect. Now we have the 7th chapter on loving kindness and compassion.
다네 시외 대화를 차변념으로 시외 대화를 차변념으로 참바든 이제 공부를 시에바를 차대 참바든 이제 공부 시에바를 차대 텔레 시외 대화를 차고 시에서는 더니 바시 양해를 잡아 토벌도 심진라 저메비 신대 미제바데 티버 멤버다 이노 대더라양 다가 된지 신대는 망보다게 당사 장对치치시주나 랑게 된게 초도 유세 송소 차바든이 귤레게네 심진 탐제라 차베란지부 저를 메회도 되나 참바든 인지 공부를 자대 로변 잠배 잡에 신내게 티버 신보배 참바든 인지다 끼지게 저 미자데 셰라 신기 전에 참바든 인지 예수 송기 세단계는 뭐 있는 세송소 텔라 당부 참발라 domne 예와미 유나마다 검답 정세 연된데 대다 주분데다 참바세메 요소도 셔바오 텔라 담배 예와는 숨디 심제는 미비 참바다 최를 미비 참바다 미범메비 참바다 대다장 파발로드 미세변 돌레 심제는 미비 참바니 심당부 개비 저주 서바남 요 최를 미비 참바니 제발을 주면서 주선받는 예우 미범의 참반에 미기 위치를 써봤다면 주선받는 예우 시송소 대라 급대 참바탕 당부 대시나 디미베 유인이 심전 탐제도 남반의 대화다 체벌은 되별로 대건배 탐네 자와 진템발라라레 심진게 진삼모
The teachings on the practices of loving kindness and compassion are the remedy to being attached to the pleasures of peace. What does attached to the pleasures of peace mean? It is the desire to achieve nirvana only for oneself without an altruistic mind for sentient beings, and because of it one does not benefit others. This is called the foundation vehicle. Thus it is said, to achieve one's own benefit one sacrifices the benefit of many others. The more one attends to self-interest in this way, it becomes supremely beneficial for oneself. But if one develops loving kindness and compassion, then one is attached to sentient beings and dares not attain liberation only for oneself. Therefore, one should practice loving kindness and compassion. Manjushri Kirti said, "The Mahayana followers should not separate their minds from loving kindness and compassion for even a moment. And others' benefit is preserved by love and compassion, not by hatred." Loving kindness. First, the practice of loving kindness. The summary. The classification, the object, the aspects, the method of practice, measure of practice, and qualities of the practice. Thus, these 6 completely comprise the study and practice of immeasurable loving kindness. First of all, the classification. There are 3 categories of loving kindness. Loving kindness focusing on sentient beings, loving kindness focused on phenomena, and non-referential loving kindness. The sutra requested by Akshayamati says, "Loving kindness focused on sentient beings is practiced by bodhisattvas who are beginners. Loving kindness focused on phenomena is practiced by those bodhisattvas who are engaged in the conduct of the path. Non-referential loving kindness is practiced by bodhisattvas who have achieved forbearance of the unborn dharmas." Following is the explanation of the first type of loving kindness. First of all, the object is all sentient beings are its object. The aspects are a mind that wants all sentient beings to meet with happiness. The method of practice is, this practice depends upon the memory of the kindnesses of all sentient beings, so recollect the kindness of sentient beings.
Telam sendele chinche shue range ma indi ma ye chinchi jizam yue jena lu gebe tinda gawa chebe tinda so chimbe tinda jidin tembe tinda shi yue do tedaryang paba ge tongba le chi chiri shena ma di daja geba dine gawa cheba daja ge so chimba jidin gu temba inu she sun so tela lu gebe tine dāngi yi lūn de tāngbō ne pōngsui zōba, shē lū gēba kātō lība jī chōngwa midā de mā yi dōra mēmir nūnū yi rāngshīn la kē gē tāng rīm gī mā yi shārā gā chū gī ne gē sē gē tāng mē ne bē ngā sādā nā sādā dōngyā tāṃ chī sēbra chēba lē chūba yi chirī gē ne yāng chūng pūpū tsam ne sō kiong chē ne chē yākpū tsam dō gēba yi nō gāwā chē bē chī ne 다자 당분의 교육의 개다 노게송 약식군은 옵니다. 카트송직 말아봐. 노르제긴 어버지야메버 동상의 제네 집에 미치기야메버 몸이식 유동의 뒤서 매 도수 뭐저버 세지 꼼도 뭐저버 동아루 캬도 뭐저버 그 퐁버 마셔버 노지 대야라나 미코와 불러지마다 보마이디 랑게 사마자 동마자 kø마자 쳔디 대외 되는데 제마베 치마페 주기 롱주기 되는데 동마베베 인데 되라 랑게 쳔디 진이게 대화라 마데버 부소간 쳔베 이노 대양 대대기 녀바다 보마이디 딕동 알체 나소기 좀네 불러치바 이노 딕발라 소나 냐바다 셴발라 소베 미게와 나소체네 부세베이노 동해라 소나 총보다 신뢰라 소베 제체네 인생도 파몰함도 그 까르친 샤르규 침바따르시 나마 짜도 쳐 진짜 칠레진 동시 밀레치네 서긴 별레치메 불레치메 셴야라리 파마달라말라 소베 진진 강외경 찌르미오 참 수인 참에 버텔라 제버체디 참베 미게네 데 잠베 저기니 수 surju khala ne yin nyembe nga ga ne phede gao ao bare gus lulu ame kibula sam shebala so me ba yin so chimbe jine daja thangbu ne dada je khala cheba Kale jian nubi sheba chi chungormida. Simbu konandrawe nyare nyore kwe meba. Samlangba chi chungwala me te mabarwa shabdo che pando lang michula gyab yangsa le sung nyoba ne se rimju ne che de shiki to ne to ne moda zida doda loba da chagala sung sangi mi gyabji lu mi gyuba che ne puyi so dyamba yinang. Jidin tembe che ne daja tangbo ne mi she gu shebo 통금 지 고차바 ndiri yongmamida 신이 길을 총에 대바당 깔라여바지 말아바 지안 미시바지 임발라 사마시비디즈 사왈랍 괴마시비디즈 건발랍 드로마시비디즈 드로알랍 마마시비디즈 마왈랍 아키다 아마키다 셰차왈라 소바다 소리골라 소바연데 나소알랍네 미념바다는 냠 미숭바다는 총버치야바 이노 대야 다르기 마차버 마세데 코아 토모메바네 코로에나 렌장 바도 메버 마차바 이노 대양 대다량 코아 토모메베 돌레 지딩이 감지 사도다 지신다 나제 탐제 예수의 지구점도 기부지게 제라 기부니베 대남 장수 장배 세베투 세기 심진지기 다가 마체바네 장으로 미뉴스 셰송 시진레게 마에토다 예수 지구점 리브르지게 사에 칼라랑 사에 랑민규 셰송소
In this life, your mother has been the kindest to you of all. How many types of kindness has a mother provided? There are 4. The kindness of giving you birth, the kindness of undergoing hardships for your sake, the kindness of giving you life, and the kindness of teaching you the world. The 8,000 stanza perfection of Wisdom Sutra says, why is that? The mother has given us birth, the mother has gone through hardships, the mother has given us lives, and the mother has taught us the entire world. The kindness of giving you birth means that at first our bodies are not fully matured, nor are pleasant complexions. We started in the mother's womb as just an oval spot and an oblong lump, and from there we developed through the vital essence of the mother's blood and flesh. We grew through the vital essence of her food while she endured embarrassment, pain, and suffering. After we were born, from a small worm until we were fully grown, she developed our body. The kindness of undergoing hardships for you means that at first we were not wearing any clothes with all the ornamentation, nor did we possess any wealth or bring any provisions. We came with just a mouth and stomach, empty-handed, without any material things. When we came to this place where we knew no one, she gave us food when we were hungry. She gave us drink when we were thirsty. She gave us clothes when we were cold. She gave us wealth when we had nothing. Also, she did not give us things she did not need. Rather, she has given us what she dare not use for herself, things she dare not eat, drink, or wear for herself, things she dare not employ for the happiness of this life, things she dare not use for her next life's wealth. In brief, without looking for happiness in this life or the next, she nurtured her child. She did not attain these things easily or with pleasure. She collected them by committing various negative acts, by sufferings and hardships, and she gave them all to the child. For example, creating negative acts, she fed the child through various non-virtuous actions like fishing, butchering, and so forth. For example, in suffering, to give to the child, she accumulated wealth by working at a business or farm and so forth, day and night, wearing frost for shoes, the stars as a hat, riding on the horse of her legs, her hem like a whip, giving her legs to the dogs and her face to the people. Furthermore, she loved the unknown ones much more than her father, mother, and teachers who were very kind to her. She watched the child with the eyes of love and kept it warm with soft cloth. She dandled the child and her 10 fingers lifted it up into the sky. She called to it in a loving, pleasant voice, saying, "Joyful one, you who delight mommy, Lulu, you happy one," and so forth. The kindness of giving you life means that at first we were not capable of eating with our mouths or hands, and were not capable of enduring all different hardships. We were like feeble insects without strength. We were just silly and could not think of anything. Again, without rejection, the mother served us, put us on her lap, protected us from fire, water, and held us away from precipices, dispelled all harmful things, and performed rituals. Out of fear that we might die or fear for our health, she did divinations and consulted astrologers. Through many other ritual ceremonies and different things, in inconceivable ways, she protected the life of her child. The kindness of teaching you the world means that at first you did not come in here knowing various things, seeing broadly and being talented. We could only cry and move about our legs and hands. Other than that, we knew nothing. Our mothers taught us how to eat when we did not know how. She taught us how to wear clothes when we did not know how. She taught us how to walk when we did not know how. She taught us how to talk when we did not know how to say mama or hi, and so forth. She taught us various skills, creative arts, and so forth. She tried to make us equal when we are unequal, and tried to make the uneven even for us. Not only have we had a mother in this lifetime, but from the beginning of samsara, she served as our mother countless times. The beginningless Samsara Sutra says, this whole world, if that were chopped into pieces the size of juniper berries by one person, and another person were to count them, it is possible to exhaust the entire world. But one cannot count the number of times one sentient being has been our mothers. Also, the letter to the friend says, using pieces the size of juniper berries, the earth is insufficient to account for the limit of one's maternal lineage.
다들 인도산에 아주 디 타르겐게 나를 다베 타르겐게 나를야. 얘는 당화시에 걸로 개외신이 걸다 개외신이 당화시에 걸로야. 되는 미다바 공부시야다. 코에니 미시야다. 레규제시야다. 참바드 니지 공부시야다. 천주기 성 공부시야다. 다든지게 가르에 당화디 근데 소요하라 다디 나나를 그런 값을 봐버디 참바드 니지 공부시야디 자리하래.
Now, in teaching the instructions of the spiritual master in the jewel ornament of liberation, it teaches first about the meditation on impermanence. It teaches about the contemplation of the defects of samsara, the contemplation of karma, cause and effect. It teaches about loving kindness and compassion, and it teaches about bodhicitta. And so in this is how it teaches the instructions of the spiritual master. And so today we are speaking about the instructions on loving kindness and compassion.
다 될래요. 되네. 도다디는 타게나로 협의 잠배 차베게 롱 잡은다시 티와 첨법에 잠바던 인지의 끼지가 잡을 미쳤대요. 잠바던 인지당 가르쳐 끼지gen 대화면 비체 randu 이지가 로케소나 되네 제 티와 첨법사디 가르쳐지기 다 가고 싶지 않아요. 드림주산에 대규전 때네 안 티버침부사디 잠바던 인지 셈니다 기지겐 대화매라 지지 심적이 되는 교화식 늦지 고여비므래.
And so here in the jewel ornament of liberation, it cites the citation from Manjushri Kirti, who says that the bodhisattva is never parted or is never without love and compassion for even an instant. And so for this reason, if we have even a moment of just a self-interested attention or thought, then it is difficult to say that that is Mahayana. And so basically the Mahayana means that we are never parted from the thoughts of loving kindness and compassion, and that everything we do is for the sake of sentient beings.
Tiba Chijun Shabadam, that's done Tiba Chijun, then the Shimon wishes Gary. Tina, that Tiba Chijun Sade, Tidan Tigba Sade, Namgun Tadang, Gaza Pungudang, Chedang, then Langola Sovatia, and Tigbas Che, Namgun Ming Tagare. Telea, Tiba Chijun Scott, Tiba Chijun Sade Karesana. And Tela Sobegi and Jalak Kurbu Chambu Kurtuare. Jinin Simje Rala Soba di Zugi and Kurbu Jusema the Kurtu Amare. Team begins Dene and then Namgu, then Tela Sobala, Tijens Laguare.
And so there are many different ways that we can explain the difference between the foundation vehicle and the great vehicle, or the Mahayana and Hinayana. In any case, when we talk about yana, or vehicle, what we usually mean by yana is like a mount or a pack animal, like a horse or a donkey, a mule, or an elephant. And there are different sizes of these pack animals. For example, with a mule can carry a large load of many different things, whereas a smaller animal, such as a goat, can only carry a very small load. And so for that reason, an animal such as a mule is what we would call a large pack animal or a large vehicle.
다가는 신기 따디 디 아주 낭sem기 내단을 파지 자로 이미나 아니 티버치 좀 사디 긴구르치 좀 다 인지게라 responsibilities 말하면 the responsibility 다 간다 겐치 좀다 드리질이야 something 오면도 상도 가르잖아 티버 메바사디 긴구르디 다 장대응기 체도 긴구르치 아마도 신 긴구르도 메버지 되는 티버 심부사디 심진신 심진 타예베게 안 되치하게 겐더도 쿠르도에 인상 디 균자나 되는 티버 심부사디 다 너나디 티버 치중사디 안에 저 랑기 심규래야 텐드비지 쿠르 계획이 뉴바사난다도 긴구르기 삼로 텐드지 유에메 텔샤과지 텐드지를 되는 샤과지래 마다베 되네 가서야 한지 참삼 티버침 지중사데 텐데기 긴구르 유에메라 마되바 수수 삼려 나로 텐데기 긴구르 유에메라 마되바 안다가스 가서야지 지 가서봐 티버침 벽이 민다샤바 잠시기 침버치야데 되라 같이 되라 마네버치 그지 차대요 되라 먼저 버도 차대요
Likewise, when we need to match this to our own abilities within our minds, to the situation of our own minds. And so when we talk about the foundation vehicle or the Mahayana, then this is a question of the scale of the responsibility that we are able to think about. We need to consider how much responsibility we can carry. In the foundation vehicle, one is able, the focus is to be able to take responsibility and take upon the burden of your own needs, but not necessarily those of others. Whereas in the Mahayana, one takes upon the responsibility or the burden of the benefit of all infinite numbers of sentient beings, and so that is the Mahayana, the great vehicle. And so in this way, primarily the distinction between the foundation vehicle and the Mahayana is the amount of responsibility or burden that one is able to carry within one's own being. And that is what we need to explain it and understand it as. And sometimes, however, we do not do that. And sometimes when we think about Mahayana or Hinayana, Mahayana or the foundation vehicle, we don't consider how much of a load we can carry, how much of a burden or how much responsibility we can carry ourselves. Instead, we are merely satisfied if we have the name of Mahayana. But actually, merely having the name of the Mahayana is not enough, or does not accord with the truth.
제레스기 주섭지 냠는 차비나 제레스기 주섭디 지당 차비입니다. 티베 신비체 디나나가 상아 도지 티베기 죄를 차리하래. 드리르산에 대냠는 치 냠는 차비입니다. 티베 신 냠는 차비 지당 상아 도지 티베체 냠는 차비 지리아 차샤고
For example, if you're practicing a sadhana of Chenrizik, now generally the sadhanas of Chenrizik are considered Mahayana Dharma, and within the Mahayana they are considered secret mantra Vajrayana. And so for that reason, the practice of these sadhanas should be considered a type of Mahayana practice or secret mantra Vajrayana practice.
이내야 안에 냠내 책의 상맥이 제레스기 냠내디 셰비나디 냠내디 제레스기 냠내디 티브 신비 최랑 상아도지 팀비 최수 냠내도 송에 녀바 야오마라 녀바 매베 규제데 가와토 되어라사나 냠스 렘바보 간사티기 냠내 체단리아 바지 라디도 요아래 삼정이에요.
However,
디 맵사스 신다스키도 David.
However, it is not certain that for everyone who does Avalokiteshvara practice, it is not certain that that practice is going to become a Mahayana or a secret mantra Vajrayana practice. And the reason for this is that it depends upon the way in which that individual is practicing it.
Get chazans lindo. Kenza shali. Take it.
To repeat, however, whether or not it is not certain that anyone who practices the Chenrezig practice is necessarily going to be doing it as a Mahayana or a secret mantra Vajrayana practice. And the reason for this is that it depends upon the manner in which that individual does the practice.
제레스기 죽탑디 가사지기 간다라 세치마 예소송의 동해래 지네 다 hlami 대화지 톱나 삼바로 진짜게 hlami 대화 되니 hlami 대화 좀 되도 녀네 hlami 대화 토야가 셔도 제레스기 죽탑디 냠len 차베입니다 대저베기다 냠렌디 hlami 틱베게 쳐서 마다베게 되네 지 가수를 지 최 남다르 지 서머베 타바다 탐지게 봐 가수를 지 주야게 최 남다르 지 자도요 말에 다가는 신기 양제레스 그 주답디 가사가시기 랑이 코에 동엘에 타로왕 코알라 타베 되니르 제제 드리지기 제도 되네 제레스 주도 그냥은 샤베입니다 다디 타바 되니네 다 니랑게 냥데 타바 니랑게 티베 쳐섬지 마다베기 된 티고 심비체 차토요 말해
For example, if there were an individual who practiced the Chenrezig sadhana out of fear of falling into the lower realms in the next lifetime, and in order to be reborn in the realms of gods and humans, and if that is what they were seeking out of the practice, then their practice of that sadhana would only be the practice of godly or human dharma. It would not be pure dharma, and it would not be become the practice that would lead to liberation and omniscience. Likewise, if there were an individual who practiced the sadhana of Chenrezig out of fear of the suffering of samsara, in order to liberate themselves from the suffering of samsara, liberate themselves from samsara, then if they were practicing the sadhana for that purpose, that practice would be done in order to achieve liberation for themselves, or for the same wishes, the practices of the listeners and the self-Buddhas, the Pratyeka Buddhas. And so in this way, it would only be the dharma of the listeners and self-Buddhas, and would not be the dharma of the Mahayana.
Today we can say that Susu Nyamsu Lensha de Jes Druta in Bache. Nyamsu Lensha Che de Tibuchim Che in Batamshiki. Then a jing or two jing, Tinyamsu Lembe Gablia Paji Tibuchim Che, which is chant on Nangsha. They are the Pengiomana. The Hindustane. 디 냠수 렌자 티버심 비체 임바 나신기 데네 디 티버심 비기 냠수 렌베 갑리네야 티버심 비기 최소 송마송데 저기 지 심게 지 글론 계단 심게당 던질이야 라레디야레 디엠비 준살 때네 수수응원의 비니야 덴덴기 가수라지 beba chego arumchi dang ane ji karshu samtonga arumchi yongde yare.
And so for this reason, if the practice that we are doing, the Avalokiteshvara, is merely Mahayana, then when we practice it, we may consider it to be the Mahayana Dharma, but that alone does not really benefit. That alone is of no help. Just as the practice that we are doing is Mahayana Dharma, at the same time, the individual who is practicing it, whether at the time that we are actually doing the practice of it, whether it actually becomes a Mahayana practice or not, depends upon our own resolve and the way we develop our motivation. And so for that reason, this is something we need to put effort into and something we need to consider.
대양 드레인 유산 티브 신빈 냠렘바지 차샤입니다. 로슈에서 소원 삼식이 팽개가 많아요. 최대한 티브 신빈 최수로 송로아지고 고아래. 드레인 유산에 덴드 티브 신빈 최수 소원지 영어 제발이야. 나도 건도 쉬변난 신기. 지 심지 멀리가 탐지기 되는지기 인삼바로 지랑 대다 삼질에 팬받은 대화 중기인 삼바로지 근데지기 되네 가수에 긴구르기 삼로서는 다도 다는 신기 학회 삼바서는 다도 근데지 매발이야 안 티버시 비춰서 저단지 매비입니다.
And so when we are practicing the Mahayana Dharma, it is not enough for our minds to turn towards the Dharma. It is important that the Dharma itself becomes the Mahayana Dharma. And whether that Dharma becomes the Mahayana Dharma or not depends upon whether we are willing to accept the responsibility to do this for the sake of all sentient beings with none left out. Whether we are willing to take upon the responsibility of thinking to ourselves, I am doing this in order to bring them happiness and benefit. We need to have that responsibility, or take that responsibility. We need to have such a superior motivation. And without that, then it is difficult for it to become Mahayana Dharma.
Oh yeah, that didn't do 제자 데다디 까마수다바 position나 가상 계제시에브레 다디 규르마도 로시서로 봐. 다드린디 안 그렇게 계제시나. karmas namju chuzu jigam dar ringna chuzu jide chega zamado be energy chudun ringbu chawe mina ane kala kashuraji chu shenge la kala shayu samasango chu shenge de quranji ribash dimje en roye binza ko tuju ga zoye me de shira shingdo da ine chu nyenge de gange merso andre nyusane 남겨도 지어래 오늘 드린 주사는 다 주주 제가
We will now have a 30-minute tea break. The reason for the breaks is that when we have a long Dharma session, the person teaching the Dharma doesn't really notice it. They're focusing so intently on teaching the Dharma that they don't really notice how much time has gone by. However, for the listeners, it's a different matter, and so for that reason, it's usually best to have the sessions be an hour and a half or maybe an hour. And so this is why we have the break in the middle. So we'll now have the 30-minute tea break.
다기리 시외 대화를 차베 년보스 시외 대화를 차베 년보스와다 다나 신기 텔라 시외 대화를 잡으시자네 더니 바신양에 대바 토벌 되지 라서보다 더 수요하네 드링이두산은 텔라데네 드니 시다의 시대게 내주고려야 중세 시위입니다. 시베 타의 시외 타사야 되고는这些都对시위입니다. 지금도 something 정도
And so here it mentions that loving kindness and compassion are the remedy to being attached to the pleasure of peace. And so what does this attached to the pleasure of peace mean? It says it is the desire to achieve nirvana only for oneself without an altruistic mind for sentient beings. And so at this point I thought it would be good to explain a little bit about the attachment to the extreme of existence and attachment to the extreme of peace.
델라야 시다의 시선이부터야 케바 가르레 케베기 시수 시다 다 시던 죽줄이야 케베 시주미로 뭐용되게 있으래.
Now, different scholars have different ways of explaining the extremes of existence and peace, or how we get attached to the extremes of existence and peace.
다데 갑들이야 시바사다 크로아사데 뒤지도 차디야래. 다 시베 타스도 가르쳐 오르서나 레뉴이 경왕게 다 인섬 자로에게 시베 구바너질이야 구바 시도잖아 아주. 드립시 원래야 드리질이야 시베 타사로 제가 시베 타스도 자네 엔 덴드비지 코알라 시바 겨 균셰베 시베 구바너지 어들이 샤워르스 구바 냠구 라가다가 시구다구.
Now, when we talk about existence and samsara, here they are essentially synonymous. And so when we talk about the extreme of existence, this means that which pulls us down into existence through the power of karma and afflictions. And the extreme of peace is therefore then also what pulls us down into peace. And so in these ways, these are what pull us into samsara and nirvana, and samsara. So it is the extreme of becoming is the extreme of that pulls us into samsara or becoming.
다나 신기 시베 탈라 롱웨 된다당 시웨 탈라 롱웨 된다들이냐 주세 지 케베 소수기 두즈미더로 지 온디 있으래 이비네야다 지단은 규지 시두산에 에는 코아 타달이야 현진 착과디 시더를 롱원도 지 시베 탈을 롱원지다 시와 타지도 랑된도 톱저 셴밤 랑게 된다래야 시와도 타지 톱저 셴밤 디 시외 타는 농어도지 챤도 다도 샤 다들래네요 개베 소수에게 시주 중세 민다로 지원되어 있습니다.
Likewise, when we speak about falling to the extreme of existence or falling to the extreme of peace, then scholars also have different ways of describing this or positing what this is. But generally, it is said that when we are attached to all of samsara, then this is falling into the extreme of existence. And falling into the extreme of peace is then described as is when we have attachment to achieving benefit for ourselves, then that is falling into the extreme of peace. although there are, of course, slightly different explanations from different masters.
대라야 tene lamda lo le debe ge sisi tal lungju dang khasa dang we bol debe sisi tal lungju rebi na ba ni de ji sha yu sre lamda lo.
And there are two different ways of that falling into existence and peace are described. One is independence upon the paths and the mind, and the other is independence upon the individual.
Pena chenju samba soge di tene khasa ngene shebe mi na ani sa sisi ta ni ga lo long ba da chi khasa ngene shebe mi na sisi ta ni ga lo long ba da chi 다나 디 규기 탑시 개발증이 람데 타니가라 말홈으로 버치 샤르다 다나 신기 녀랑 자좀 받죠 아니 시베 탈라 말홈나 시베 탈라 동 시베 탈라 말홈나 시베 탈라 동하다 디 규기 람데 양베 타니가라 동아레서 아르데 디셰르 갸유스레 다디기 가르베지 가르다지 슝심으로 짓다 비싸네 안 페도로 슝고면로 다 간다 주시 디콜이야 망부시라 슈모고체.
For example, when you have a bodhisattva who is an ordinary individual, that is a beginning bodhisattva, then in terms of the individual, they have fallen to both extremes of existence and of peace. But the method or the path that is within their being has not fallen to either extreme. With individuals who are arhats of the listeners or the self-Buddhas, they have not fallen to the extreme of existence, but they have fallen to the extreme of peace. However, the path that is within their being has fallen to the extreme of both existence and peace. And so, to understand this, it is good to look through the great texts. However, it is not necessary to explain it too much now.
다드네 디가리아 참바드니지 셰두스타네 더 FM 디 자게 FM 디 게 여가도다 시라 고이스면 디 따다 그냥 주다 다드네 참바드니지 셰베가 인주스타네 안 당보들 참바들이야 안 타겐 거리야 데네 number
And so here, in this discussion of loving kindness and compassion in the jewel ornament of liberation, first, for loving kindness, it is described in terms of 6 different topics.
다 될래야 가셔야 돼. 참바 될래야. 지당게 참바 될래야. 가셔야 지당게 애는 남주 전주도 전주 심계에서 말합니다. 심계에 전주도 심계를이야. 가셔야다지. 균제명아 둥기원의 전주도 심게바다 다나 신기 지 다신 냠지고는 저저도 심게발라서 다들 망오지 요데 아래
Now, generally, when we talk about rousing bodhicitta, when you talk about rousing bodhicitta, sometimes it is taught by way of the instructions on the 7 aspects of cause and that are causes and results, and sometimes it is taught through the exchanging self and other, and sometimes it is taught through the equality of self and other. There are different manners in which it is taught.
다 균제 명아 뒤기고는 저저 도개부들이야 아니 마르셰 진제라 써봐 다뭐 마르셰 되네 진짜마 진시야발 다 된데 마르셰 진쟁이 관에 아니 마지 가르쳐 저저도 또 가르쳐 심기주르지 가르쳐 심게 로정주르도 수여버래
The 7 aspects that are causes, or the instructions on the 7 aspects that are causes and results means that we recall that all sentient beings are our mothers, we recall their kindness, we recognize their kindness, and so forth. And so this is one manner of arousing bodhicitta, or of training our minds.
다들이야 안 갑들이야지 참바 들이야 야순주산에 안 심제를 미비 참바다 셔를 미비 참바다 미범메비 참바스 다 참바르기 야와 숨숨나네
Here, in talking about the types of loving kindness, it talks about 3 different types of loving kindness. These are loving kindness focused on sentient beings, loving kindness focused on phenomena, and loving and non-referential loving kindness.
다나시 지당 그 참발라야 참바 짬다 지당 참바 짬다 다나 신기 가서 참바 세매다 이제 참바 첨부 라서도 되게 야차이스래
We can also classify loving kindness in terms of being mere loving kindness, or limitless loving kindness, or great loving kindness, and so forth.
야 참발해야지 가수래지 지당가 참발사야지 심지어 탐지 대화단 된되게다 이 세담에 비스면 다 들으시 대화다 된되고 삼바를 들으시 샤고 하래 다 들려야 대화다 체벌 차오 냐마지랑 다나 신기 체벌 규르지 삼바를 보지다 체벌 치기 삼바를 다 된되게지 민남 경수 담으래 요스래
And with loving kindness, we generally say that it is the wish that sentient beings be happy and that we bring them to happiness. And so in this way, there are various different focuses and aspects that it can take. It can be to think, may they be happy, or may all sentient beings be happy, may they encounter happiness, or to think, I will make them happy.
다지당기 참바든지 컨디션 비네야 다디지 면함점에 봐 나라주는 유지 칸에 어다 덴버 규직 상하를 제 칸에 비지 가서 그 카구조 yaptub스를 좀 많이 봐다 오늘은 시타번에 지심제 탐제 대화다 가수의 지 대나 찌마롱 덴버 교지 삼바르지 드리지기 가도 시타원에 전과의 개심이 있어요.
And loving kindness and compassion both shouldn't just be mere aspirations. Often we say, may all sentient beings, may, and we have this aspiration, but it shouldn't be just that we're merely flapping our lips. Rather, it is something where we have to feel it from the depths of our heart. We should have to think from the depths of our heart, may all sentient beings be happy. What would be wrong? Wouldn't it be best if all sentient beings were happy?
남주 다지 가르에 데네도 다데 잠바텔래요. 지단게 더 계시를 쉬비미나 미버 대화다 미데베 심젤라 미네 나바데 대화다 챕터 되베게 로 개버차지 드니지 버래.
Now, if we were to explain loving kindness in detail, we would say that with a focus on sentient beings who lack happiness, we have the aspect of the mind with the aspect of wishing that they be happy.
다나 신기 자기 공부 주변에 신기 거라 참배의 진당 섬버베 삼로 동당으로 텔레임비네야 아니 number sums on the RS. The number sum the Karasana and a Devada 10 Chimaru Yambaruch. Devada 10 Take Wondo Kanta Chita Sambar with the Nijiki Chimaru Yambaruchita. Tana Shingi Devada Teber Kurjik Sambar of Chita. Tana Shingi Devada Teber Chigi Sambar of Devada Teber Chigi Yambar with the Nijiki Kandran Zindanga. And
likewise, as I mentioned before, there are three methods or three different manners in which loving kindness can apprehend, or you could say three different attitudes or intentions or thought or ways of thinking about loving kindness. The first is to think, what would be wrong of sentient beings? What can I do? What would be best to make sentient beings happy? The second would be to think, may all sentient beings be happy? And the third is to think to yourselves, I'm going to make all sentient beings happy. And so there are these three different attitudes or three different ways of thinking.
다들 참바데 개월 채벌이야. 다지 개월이야. 주메 개멜 되네. 준선사는 매블이야. 안타가스 지 참바 개가 말와. 드린주산에 다디 참바 개월 채벌라. 참바 개야기 지 가르에 다 규게 sögövam. 규게 쏘거비. 영화 탑시 매주 채벌.
Now, in order to develop such loving kindness, it doesn't just develop on its own without any causes or conditions. It doesn't just happen. In order for loving kindness to develop, we have to have all of the causes and conditions. All of the causes and conditions of loving kindness have to come together. And so we need to put effort into the methods to assemble these causes and conditions.
드네 유산의 타게나로래야 참바 당부의 시베급리야 미위윤의 심전 탐지인스 남바는 대화의 챕터 되어 로인스 두스 소나라 드네 유산의 미위윤 심전 탐지사디 드네 대화의 미디미 심전 탐지라 미 남바의 대화의 챕터 되어 로 다들이지 샤는 거 알아 다디양 당봉에 대화의 챕터 되어 로 개버 챕터라 녜라 심전 탐지 대외 풍루디 삼동고요 대외 풍니 대외 폭로디 삼동거베 인두산 텔레야 대화 텔레야 사제기 대화당 사메기 대화 니 용쇼여베 인두산에 디준세되는 심지어 탐제 사제다 사메기 대외 폭로가 풍주 사제기 대화 밀루 디주 삼동거베 사제다 사메기 대화 밀루 디삼동
And so in the jewel ornament of liberation, in describing loving kindness, it says that first the focus of loving kindness is it first teaches the focus, all sentient beings, and then it teaches the aspect, the cognition that wishes to that they be happy. And so the focus of all of it is all sentient beings, and then it is the wish that all sentient beings who lack happiness may encounter such happiness. And so when we talk about wishing that all sentient beings be happy and encounter happiness, we first need to consider how sentient beings are deprived of happiness. And so in considering how sentient beings are deprived of happiness, we need to think about the types of happiness. There is defiled happiness and there is undefiled happiness. And so how is it that all sentient beings are deprived of defiled and undefiled happiness? How is it that they do not have enough defiled or undefiled happiness?
대량 심지어 탐제 대외 풍바인데 대외 풍바인 비균스 지인시나 사메기 대외 풍바 인바다 시험하고 버체 사게기 대외가 풍바 자리야 알았어 미망고지 가수에 대화지 이용 삼네 강에 망보 쉽게 이번에 타도 다 레와 되면은 버지 차체 내래가다 동행 바실로 런쳐 버지 근데야 어디 알아
So how is it that all sentient beings are deprived of happiness? Well, it's not necessary to discuss how they are deprived of undefiled happiness. But in terms of how they're deprived of defiled happiness, many sentient beings put a lot of effort and undergo a lot of difficulties thinking, if I only could be happy. And then in the end, their hopes end up being unfulfilled. Their hopes end up being ultimately being pointless, and so they are thus deprived of happiness.
아다 드린 주스타는 대드위기다 간다를 참바디 권배 탑을 입이냐 통마르지 참바디 지 랑게 이동왕 랑게 지 닝도도베 셈젠테 솔이야 참바고며 레라버지 랑게 닝도 미두바 랑게 이도 명에 셈젠리야 참바공 공고 전에 고마다 하고 싶자리야 베나 랑게 지 가사 랑게 두산 닝 두산으로 지 드네질이야 베나 랑가 마다보다 다는 신기 다 랑게 제외게 다 조도 드네질이야 공주스나 뭐가 레라버지 다 랑게 당외 자도버지리야 안 참바 공주스나 람산람서 참바 공도요 말 대비 비준 젤라데네 겁들이야 아니 다 배준디 랑게 진치슈기 마 진치보 임바 시샤르다 아 마카시야 진치보 뭐 임들에 용스기로 바 파르텔레 진치보 뭐 임바 섬다 지 시라랑지 마윈두시에르디 시라랑 야고 메딩게 지 용스기로 바드리 주사 디준센데네 아네 오카쇼에지 디 용스지브레 삼탐
Now, the method to meditate upon these sentient beings, when we are meditating upon loving kindness for sentient beings, it is easy for us to feel loving kindness for those who we like and those sentient beings who are dear to us. But it is difficult to feel loving kindness for those who are not dear to us and those whom we do not like. And so, for that reason, for those who are dear to us, such as our mothers or our beloved friends or so forth, it is easy to meditate upon it. And yet, if we were to say to someone, meditate upon loving kindness for your enemies, then you can't immediately do that. That is very difficult. For that reason, here the example that is given is of meditating upon your mother, who has been greatly kind for you. Now, of course, there are some mothers who are not so kind. There are some mothers whom, if we look at it, it doesn't seem that they have much of a conception of being of a mother and child. And so it is possible that there are mothers who are not such good mothers.
냠에 조지 반데 어디시 셴네 가르송 알았잖아. 되는 너디다 유디 탐지에당 다가나신기 초가를 얘기 올래양 세메시 소요 알았어. 세메시 공부 차오 소요 알아. 세메시 공부 차오 소요 주산에 데 소요 알아데 이나양 그래 다나신기 나게 디시 지 두답 충충지마도 매비미냐 안 디긴 걸이야 아니 지 세메시 공부 차오스들 손 알았어 숨바래.
As the great Lord Atisha said, whatever sutra or whatever tantra it is, whatever practice or ritual we are doing, it always says at the beginning to meditate upon the four immeasurables. And he said that even if you have a very short sadhana of the secret mantra, even those say that you should start by meditating upon the four immeasurables.
이나야 조심비 가르송 알았잖아. 지단 레송요 알았어. 송요 알았대 이나야. 되네 참바다 닌진이 고메이나 가와도 땅념 니버디야 수르도 고메고 봐. 참바다 닌지 고메들이야. 가와도 땅념 고메들 누구래서.
Though Atisha did say that, but he also said that if we meditate upon loving kindness and compassion, that it is not necessary to meditate upon joy and equanimity separately, because the joy and the equanimity are contained within the loving kindness and compassion.
누단 누르르부터 컨디인스 다마 드시께는 주스다네. 근데 남과다냐 비심제 탐지 남과다냐 비심제 탐지 대화다 된도이 잡아다 남과다냐 비심제 탐지 동해다 전도이 인지 된 너나 대화 톰도의 대당 동해 전도이 삼반이 어디 근데 잠바다 인지 쓰르잖아 텔레스요 알았어 대야 지 미릭 찍자 뭐이 봐. 배는 뷰릭도 지. 미릭 찍자 뭐이 봐. 가르에 다나 신기 심진 대야 아니지 심진 좋아 미지고 뭐이 봐. 난괴 캬스기 심진 탐제려야. 되는 추리며 봐. 안에 다나 신기 니링며 봐. 토메며 봐. 치중며 봐. 꾼리야. 아니 냠바니도 가르쳐 끌려야지 가르쳐 냠바니도 가르쳐 심지어 탐지할이야 깨베이 잡아든 니지디 심지어 탐지할이야 공배 차네 땅님 체매양 디나는 성교였어.
Now, the manner in which joy and equanimity are included within loving kindness and compassion is that when we have the wish that all sentient beings, as limitless as space, may be happy, that is loving kindness. When we wish that they be free of suffering, that is compassion. And so that wish that they be happy and the wish that they be free of suffering, that all sentient beings be free of suffering, is the loving kindness and compassion. And when this is not for just one race or ethnic group, such as not only for Tibetans, or that it is not only for one type of sentient beings, such as not only for humans, but instead for all sentient beings throughout space, without any bias or discrimination, for all ethnicities, no matter what ethnic group, no matter whether they are great or small, no matter whether they are high or low. The wish that they all, when we have these wishes equally for all of sentient beings throughout space, then such loving kindness and compassion is immeasurable equanimity.
Then, Tigabso, that Nijiki Picarfregi, Simja Tamjelia, Nyam Begone, Chambada Ninji, the Niji Gesona, Tigabso, Gawayang, or Shuki Gigaris, the Rangi Gigaris. Karesana, Simje Devada Cheva Chumbina, and Gawayungores, some Gawayungores. And 동해다 채와 충분히미나 아니 좀 가보용 거래서 텐드비다 대화다 채지 동해다 채에 심지엔들의 통보이미는 배지 셈리아 가와다 대화다 기베 전화로 요구래서 근데 이 유사 디균zel 되네 체메시 공고를 제제 아니 신다네 뭐부지 수요하는데 너나 잠바다 니니보 될이야 엔 세메시 냐면 탐지 누구예스 이 비긴셀 때네 엔 깜들이야 ane 지게 세메시 무슨체 ane 잠바다 니 지보선 거 김세는데 바지 드립 좀 해놔서 드립 정도 냐면 좋으신 뷰기 ane 송시샤르 치치 맨로서 드립 정도
Now, at the time when we have such loving and kindness, and we've developed such loving kindness and compassion for all sentient beings equally, that engages all sentient beings equally, then that also automatically becomes joy. It just naturally becomes joy. The reason for this is when we have such loving kindness and compassion, if there's a sentient being who becomes happy, then naturally we're going to be delighted. We're going to be joyful. When they are freed of suffering, then we're naturally going to feel joy in our minds. So when all sentient beings are thus made happy, and when they are freed of suffering, then naturally we feel joy and happiness and delight in our minds. And so in this way, even though, in this way here, it does not teach us to meditate upon the four immeasurables, but instead, and so here, even though it is said that we should meditate upon the four immeasurables, when we meditate upon loving kindness and compassion, all four immeasurables are contained within, the practice of all four immeasurables are contained within that. And so in this instance, it does not teach all four immeasurables, but instead only teaches loving kindness and compassion. And I think that this is based upon what Lord Atisha has said.
다 간다리양 가주에 장기 의 닝도 도시 이동에 에 심제 다 되는 고소제 가주에 다 참바고마디 에 참바고베지 탑시스는 장도 다나 신기 에 가주에다지 참방 고주단을지 참배냠는 고주단을지 근데 지송유업자
In any case, here meditating upon those sentient beings who are dear to your heart, whom you like, beginning with them is the way, is a method for meditating upon loving kindness, or you could say it is the way to begin meditating upon loving kindness.
다 대양 검들이야 진체슈의 지디나 가서에 이제 진체슈 지대하데 아니 마인비 유산에 근데 갑들이야지 마시샤치지 마디 파바게 동발을 숨어는 신기 마디 아주 진심부이 받을 진체의 유제로 나바시 시 되는 루이게베 진다 까와제베 진다 소치베 진다 지딘데베 진다 진시에 관해 아니 마이 거든 제수 제 말에 이동은 두시게 제시 방법의 이동은 두시게네 아니 대화다 가서에 덴버 차오 냠바르지다 얘는 찜머로 냠바르지다 덴버 쇼 삼바르부터 되게 다 참배 민남 거가 됐어.
And so here, it speaks of meditating upon our mothers, who in this world are generally considered the kindest for us. And so they are considered the kindest for us in the world. So here they are taken as the basis. And and as described in the sutra, the 8,000 verse sutra on Prajnaparamita, there are 4 methods of meditating upon their kindness. Meditating upon the kindness of them giving birth, on the kindness of all the difficulties they have undergone for us, the kindness of giving us life, and the kindness of teaching us the world. There are these 4 methods in which our mothers have been kind for us. And so it is, so meditating upon these, think about how they are so dear to our hearts, and having the conception of treasuring and cherishing them. Then we meditate upon the aspects and the focus of loving kindness, thinking, may I make them happy? What would be wrong with them being happy? Or may they be happy?
대다르다데 타타게 나는 마송주사네 어디서 지지에 대다라 마체레 이 징아마들 샤와이노 대외나 마디 진바도 메바 예베 딩닝도 도시 편바다 대월데베 로샤마 찌기를 고모 대네 데르마스기 심지어 탐지기 마체라 마체세 아마 코나다라 진진인데 대한 심지기 야에세는 지점시나 남게 태 가격 심지기 켜봐이는 대다라야 상부주비 모놈긴 돌래 남게 태도 교바 지점 심지만을 타야 되지는 신송소 대남 남게 가격이 심지하나 편받아 내월되고 로샤마지 찌지를 고모 대게나 참방외인데 너대게네가 전주선마 심지하나 부직발을 자와시 강게 공의 참바치 대다 딱벤 제벌되지 송소 참배 슈기 민니 치모 주범 류기 법부 당월잖아 참바 첨부 이노 대답을 심지어 탐제라 냠게 이게잖아 참바 세매와 이노 종배 세네 랑 대월되고 로매바 심지어 코나 대월되잖아 참바 종바 이노 대검배 윤대네 빠도 메디 나와주민 돌레 양 최바세메 남아치니바 신이 자와처듯이 담니도 기부초를 잡아 대체베 참배쌤다 장나 차르메비 제송소 참바 다르지 건베 쇠남장 빠도메리 제팅완레게 지추 숨게 가사다 니리 뒤숨 침바웨 참바 유점 탕지기 쇠남 달라 차르메비 제송소 전주 마톱게 봐도야 페위게 탑데 제팅완레 타미 참바르게 와다 대다게 송와다 이디와다 데만다 도다 중에 뇌메다 매바매어 된도다 참배직 된 게거데 가데 저어뭐 유냐 잠주인데 게 토보 셰 송소 야랑게 송어래야 잠바고 송어래야 잠바고바디 상황인데 잠시 집어쳐 보시노 시행기 송어래야 잠바고바디 상황인데 개버 참배 또 시노 대들 잠발라 종배 니지 종발라 책매바 이노.
To continue from the jewel ornament of liberation, each time we had a mother, she performed the same kind of kindness as before. Therefore, a mother's kindness is limitless, so, as sincerely as possible, meditate to develop loving kindness in your heart and desire for her benefit and happiness. Not only that, but all sentient beings have been our mothers, and all mothers have performed these same kind deeds. What is the limit of sentient beings? As space is limitless, so sentient beings also fill space. The noble aspiration for excellent conduct said, as limitless as the infinity of space, such are the numbers of sentient beings. Therefore, one should practice developing a pure desire for all sentient beings as limitless as space to have happiness and benefit. When one arouses this kind of mind, it is called a genuine loving kindness. The Ornament of Mahayana Sutras says, from the marrow of their bones, bodhisattvas view as every sentient being as their own child. In this way, they consistently have the desire to benefit others. When, through the power of loving kindness, tears come from the eyes and hairs of the body stand up, that is called great loving kindness. If one directs this kind of mind toward all sentient beings equally, it is called immeasurable loving kindness. The measure of the practice. When one does not desire happiness for oneself, but only for other sentient beings, that is the perfection of the practice of loving kindness. The qualities of the practice. One obtains limitless qualities by practicing loving kindness. The Moon Lamp Sutra says, limitless offerings of various objects filling millions of fields and offerings to the Supreme Beings cannot equal the practice of loving kindness. Even practicing loving kindness for 1 moment will bring limitless merit. The precious Jewel Garland says, cooking food in 300 pots and giving it to people 3 times a day. The merit of such cannot be matched by the practice of cannot match the practice of loving kindness for 1 moment. One will receive the 8 benefits of this practice of loving kindness until one achieves enlightenment. The precious Jewel Garland says, one will be loved and protected by gods and humans. One will achieve mental peace and many happinesses. Will not be harmed by poison or weapons. One will achieve his wishes without effort. One will be reborn in the Brahma world. Even one who is not liberated from samsara will obtain these 8 qualities of loving kindness. To protect oneself, the practice of loving kindness is best, as in the story of Brahman Mahadatta. To protect others, the practice of loving kindness is also good, as in the story of King Bala Maitreya. When loving kindness is perfected in this way, the practice of compassion is not difficult.
어다 드린 주스단에 다 공수시면 신기엔 참바사디 참고 주스단에 어느 참바곰단데야 어느지 샘쟁이 이어와라 되는 지 참바곰야당 다가는 신기 내기 이어와라 되는 참바곰야당 다가는 시 초기 이어와라 되는 참바곰야라 소바 이제 참바 디 가서 곰베르바 아지 곰베 쿠림 미르와 나서 거네 참바곰야 유스레.
Now, there are various different methods or orders in which we should meditate upon the loving kindness. And so we can meditate on loving kindness in terms of the distinctions in the sentient beings, or we can do it in terms of distinctions in location or the distinction in direction. And so there are various different orders in which we can meditate upon loving kindness.
Dilea takab dilea malaya rangi tsawe masamar chinjingi malaya 엔 참바 고마디 데네 심진기 여와라 데네 참바 고마 디나르야 티기 나젤 차디요레 데네야 지단게지 나나주기 제토기 심진 제가 토세 심진 탐젤 여와샤위 미나 데네 가르레 니엔다 파르마당 저우숨레야 도요아레 데인주스탄에 니엔시두스탄에 다랑기 지가르레지 아드리주스탄 니엘레야 니엔다 저울라야 니지 쳐와다 중화다 총화사들이 영어식으로 딱한다 니엔디스 지가르레 지 소수 니엘레야 다 니와다 양디스 가르레 대섬식 매와양 되게 좀 용서하래 다전에 파르메심지 라니라지 상행 데벨롭 시다메 되게 되게 파르메심지 온디야래 다 저올을 찾아서 있는 랑게 자체와다 중화다 총화사들이 용서로 왔다 된주산 되게 고름는 신체 안 당보 랑게 베닝라베 자쉐 닝라 독쉐기 ene simje 되는 고조네 에르베신도 고마디 심진기 여와를 때네 가수에다 곰단디 디시블
And so here it discusses meditating upon your mother from this life, this the one who's kindness for you. So meditating upon loving kindness for her. And so this is a type, or this is included within meditating upon loving kindness based upon the distinctions of sentient beings. Generally, when we look at sentient beings, and the sentient beings whom we are connected to, we can divide them among those who are close to us, those who are neutral, and those who are our enemies. Even among those sentient beings who are close to us, there are friends and relatives, and there can be degrees of this as well, those who are very close, moderately close, and not so close. There are those who are very close to our heart, or very dear to us. They are very close to us. And likewise, there are some who are a bit further, and then there might be some relatives whom we don't feel so close to. Then there are the neutral sentient beings, and these are beings with whom we have no connection either particularly good or particularly bad. And then there are enemies, and also with our enemies, there are degrees of enemies. There are greater and lesser enemies as well. In any case, when we begin, we start by meditating upon those who are closest to our hearts, those who are dearest to us. And then beginning from those, then we gradually then meditate upon others as well. And this is a method of meditating based upon the distinctions in sentient beings.
다 내기 여와를 되는 공부데 하듯이 랑게 다다 내서 랑데다 대상 내서 되네 송데 남게기 타이파도 지된 남게 탈라 토기 바르기 다스 지된 탐젤이야 되네지 내베지 심지 탐젤라고 보면 배낭 다다 가서 보드가야리야 야래 보드가야 인디스탄 안 보드가야리지 아주 예열이야 어느지 냠타베 지 심지 다 망보지 연디 야래 인주산에 나 되게 되지 아주지 참박검사 가서에 나라솔 때입니다 지 니주 참박검하기 네 유 야보트 차디아래 인주스탄에 안 드네 점디 안 남게 탈 토게 바게 엔심 가른 지딩 감기 심지 탐젤이야 공부하고 야나 가서 녀손 숨라서 담보 녀손 숨는 거 삼데 아니 리베신도 다가라 주주기 심지 탐젤이야 미니 공부라서 다 드네가 토네 내기 예외 토네 되네 참바고 말던데 예대비임래
When we think about it, For the meditation on loving kindness, in terms of distinctions in the place, we think about those, we start from the place where we ourselves are, where we are living, and then we progress from there out to all the universes, out as far as the limitless space. And we think about all sentient beings who live within those with loving kindness. For example, we are in Bodh Gaya, and all around us there are many sentient beings who are really in an unfortunate, excuse me. There are many sentient beings around there who are in unfortunate circumstances, and for us they are good people to meditate upon, or good beings to meditate on loving kindness for. And so in relation to us, they are a good object for loving kindness. And so we begin with them, and then we gradually progress to meditating upon all the living beings in any of the world realms throughout space. Another method of meditating upon sentient beings based upon location is to think about first the lower realms, and then gradually move to include all of the six realms of samsara. And so these are different methods of meditating upon loving kindness based upon location.
초기 예와라 되네 ene chamba ta dine sumba de chogi yewa de chamba gomba sa de ta de lela bu sre chogi yewa sa di cho de shalon nu jang chogi yewa sa de dine nu za da dang bo shar cho nen go zam de ene ji cho ju gi simje tham she le ya dine chamba de ni ji go ma ta de yong se de dine du ta de le yang 가시 맹아로 de yong de do 맹아 쇼반 니마샤웨 걸리야 방아버지 바 랑제 아니 니마샤웨 걸리 니마데 샤초네 샤르용 게베 인두사네 아니 니마라 바 카테네 아니 지 니메웨기 딱 가르지 에 당보 요새 당보 트레 겁내서 수수익이 아니 참 가르 참바데 곰제 아니 참바디다 니메웨 나한테 지 냠도 로네 아니 지 샤쇼네 고잠데 랑게 참배기 외낭선에 라도 에너지 참배기 셈티기 에 지금 좀링 탐지 좀으로 지금 탐 지금 좀링이 캡을 채소 삼바르지 근데 삼동아 이스레 야 니마 슈베 거블레미나 아니 양배 니마 슈세 쳐들 봐 카고르시 니마 슈베 거블레미나 지가르에 누쇼기 지심 드네 고잠데 누쇼는 고잠데 아니 심제 담질이야 외스르기 나와야지 참배 외스 참배 나와 캡을 쳐봐 드네 삼동아 유스레 단 님의 공라 대지 님한테 쇼치세요 산 디디 삼동아 다도 비시람도 외스르 딱 간다 들려서 봐 근데 그 안에 안도 초기에 관은 디 삼동아 면도 삼정도
In terms of meditating upon loving kindness through direction, this is actually fairly easy. It is thinking about it in terms of the east, the south, the north, and west, the directions that we normally think of. And so we first begin thinking about sentient beings who are in the east, and then the south and west, and so forth. We think about all of the sentient beings in any of the 10 directions. Now, sometimes there are some instructions that say that when we get up in the morning before dawn, you get up in the morning and the sun rises in the east. And as the sun rises in the east, then we face the east, and when the first rays of the sun comes, then we meditate upon loving kindness. We imagine that our loving kindness is shining just like the along with the rays of the sun. We imagine that wherever the rays of the sun come shining from the east, then also our loving kindness, the light of our loving kindness, also shines in those places. So our attitude of loving kindness then fills all of the realms of the universe. Then in the evening, during the evening, when the sun is setting, the sun sets in the west, and we think that likewise our loving kindness is shining from the west and filling all of, and riding the rays of the sun and filling all of the realms to the west. At the noon, the sun is very strong, and so maybe it's too strong at noon, so there's not much, there's nothing, not really any meditation taught there. In brief, these are different ways of meditating upon loving kindness based upon direction.
다 도나지 참배 곰당 구림당 다가나 신기 예와라서다 민자 망보지 다지 가르에 용디 야래 이나야 다디 디기다 마검나 참바 마검나 데디디 고림다디 든다나지 진당데 망보 시에데네 시에데 마데시다 메데게 그렇지 딱 곰바이미나 디네 디유제데는 예바도 참바사 참바데 니지사디 시에데야지마 이바데 곰고야지다 냠솔랭 과를 샤디가 드린 두산 디규젤데는 참여지 수수에게 딱 하더라 지 타나야 지 최다를 제시 간제 연구도 최다를 제시 어느 간다를 드리지 돈에 아주지 딱제를 제네 수수 고마데 내가 전부를 차디가 알아 마도병 아주 마체질이 신다 파샤네 잠바 오늘들 오늘 깨규도 파샤네 최다 진용 아이나 섬정도 참삼 아다 연구도다면도 간제 연구도 간제 연구민도 딱지에 최다 진용 아이나 섬정도 근데 다 딱지에 최다 진용 점 매버 질이야 안 잠보다 니지 깨고서는 다디 갈래 하보러 봐 나들이 뉴스다 디규젤 되네 매버도 안지 가셔에 야와세는 제바다 다나시 라마 고만남기 샤바데 니지기 베 곰당 곰루당 베 고림다 망보 쉬지 송지 당거나 나라sol에 참바지 깨 이용나 삼바르 텐데지기 가르셔에 가르셔 툴리아 자와사는 장도 다나 신기 심그루 텐데지에 이민두산 나라sol에 텐데베지 야와살은 제바도 라마 고만는 이거지 제주 tembe고네 는 아주에게 관수 숨바는 신기 는 잡아든 이사데 연구도면 되지 연구도면도 타나야 최다 좀 제거해야 돼 개심으로 지레 삼정기
Now, there are many different, there's a lot of discussion about the order or the method of developing loving kindness and compassion, the types of loving kindness and compassion. But really, if we don't do anything, if we don't meditate upon loving kindness, then it doesn't help us to know anything about the order or the methods of doing it or the manners of apprehension or the different kinds. It's as if we don't really know what they are. Meditation, if we practice, then loving kindness and compassion are not something that we need to know. They're something we need to meditate upon. And so it's important for us to at least try and to test it out. See, we need to test it out. Are we able to develop loving kindness and compassion? We need to see if it is, and are we able to meditate upon it? This is a critical point. Sometimes, I wonder whether we actually have ever really tried to develop loving kindness and compassion. If we've ever even experimented to see, can we have that loving compassion? What does it do? What is it like? How do we do it? We haven't even tried. And if you haven't even tried to develop loving kindness and compassion, then when it says arouse your loving kindness and compassion, then it's very difficult. And so this is something that we absolutely must do. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the past, and likewise the great masters of the past, have taught many different methods, different manners, and different types of meditations of loving kindness. And it's our responsibility, and they've given it. It's like our responsibility to see: can we? Is it possible to develop this? How do we develop it? What is it like to do this? We at least have to have the hope of doing this. And if we need to, at the very least, we need to try and see whether we will be able to recall the words of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas and all the great masters of the past, and see if, just as they have done, if we are able to develop loving kindness and compassion.
다바지 dinner지 참샤고 유스레 다바지 dinner지 아니 다 dinner 선이 니지 공부데 쉬윈 바지 정메라서 정도
I think this makes for a good stopping point, and it will be good to speak about compassion tomorrow.